Coconuts have water in them.
G'day you cheeky dogs. Today we're going to be talking about the Bluey episode, The Sleepover. We are going to be doing a deep dive into all the Simpsons references, the Easter eggs, hidden details that maybe you might have missed, as well as a discussion on the theme of this episode, as well as the censorship and some errors with it as well. G'day cheeky dogs. My name's Margie and I'm an Australian currently living in America. Of course though, if you love Bluey as much as we do here, don't forget to hit that like button down below, that subscribe button and that bell for notification so you know whenever I release any other Bluey themed videos.
This episode of Bluey is called The Sleepover. Hooray! Stay up late! Stay up late! Muffin, we're gonna stay!
So let's get started first then with the censorship of this episode. And for once, I'm not talking about Southeast Asia first, I'm going to be talking about the UK, because it turns out that BBC, who is the company that distributes Bluey worldwide, actually heavily kind of censored this episode when it first came out. They took out all of Bingo's lines where she said, babe.
Should we have a nice slow dinner at the restaurant? Sure thing, babe. The game's still going! That's great, babe. If we pay him, the game's finished. What are we gonna do, babe?
They also took out the part where Muffin bites the balloon as well. And people actually commented about this on Reddit and also being kind of confused because they felt like they had seen it, but then they hadn't. Because it turns out that BBC did uncensor this like a couple of years later, but like the censored one still seems to be popping up every now and again. And it's just really strange. Like we assumed that they just don't like the word babe, but then they got over it. I don't know. It's real weird. But if you're from the UK and you thought that maybe Bingo's line sounded weird or like cut off halfway, that's why.
Oh, it all looks so good, babe.
Now, of course, Southeast Asia did have censorship, but they had something totally different. They actually censored out the part where Muffin says, I hate plants.
I hate plants!
And apparently it was because they didn't want to show cruelty towards plants, so that was an interesting one. But let's talk about some of our traditional Easter eggs though. We did get a long dog, tennis balls, and pineapples in this episode as well. So we got 3 tennis balls in total. We saw 2 in the entry when they first walk into the house, as well as 1 in the photo frame just outside of Bluey and Bingo's bedroom. I was wrong, there's actually 4 tennis balls. The other one is just behind Muffin next to the plant.
You stop doors, door stop.
As for the long dog, we actually see that in the playroom where they're playing restaurant. It says they're first walking up towards Chili. You can see a little Pepper long dog in the bench just behind them.
Good evening. Welcome to our restaurant, known for its speedy service.
As for the pineapples, we see 2 in total. 1 is on the backpack that we see as Muffin runs into the house.
Ow! Coconut!
And the second one is actually on the green pot plant as the girls are walking past the veranda to go into the restaurant.
So, husband and Sheila, should we have a nice slow dinner at the restaurant?
There is also a video game reference in this that everyone was very excited when they first saw it, and that is Sans from Undertale. He's a little plushie in this situation, having dinner with the pink angel bear as well as the dolphin. And also a funny little note with that, if you look at it, the dolphin's eating fish, which I think is hilarious considering everyone else is eating pizza. So it's a nice little like detail that they put in there.
Next up, the museum.
Some other little details that you might have missed was one, that Uncle Stripe called the girls dudes.
What's going on, Uncle Stripe?
Remember when you dudes were younger and used to have a little sleep during the day?
Yeah.
I feel like this is where they got that like, hey dude, what you doing dude joke from that we see in Favorite Thing, and that's why it frustrates Bandit so much, is because his brother is obviously the one who says dudes all the time.
Okay, dude. Here's the sauce, dude. Thanks, dude.
So I thought that was just like a nice little joke there that obviously the girls pick up things from Uncle Stripe as well. Also, Uncle Stripe in general, just why would you drop off a toddler who skipped a sleep to a sleepover? He looked so guilty the whole time and just like hightailed it out of there before Bandit came out to be like, no, you take Muffin home.
Oh boy, I think Muffin skipped a sleep.
The other cool little detail, of course, is the fact that we see Chili dressed up in a like police dog uniform. We also know that she works for airport security, and it's kind of assumed that she works as a sniffer dog. So I don't know, it's kind of just nice to sort of see her like dressing up in this role when that's sort of what she does in real life. Within the Bluey universe, of course.
Listen up. If your friend buys chippies, she has to pay for chippies.
Yes, police lady. Sorry, police lady.
Now, as I mentioned, this episode does have one of the most famous Simpsons references in it, and we know that Joe Brumm, of course, loves The Simpsons. It's the part where Muffin says, I am the Flamingo Queen.
I'm the flamingo queen.
We also see in The Simpsons the exact same thing with Lisa, where she says, I am the Lizard Queen.
I am the Lizard Queen!
Now, as for errors and some inconsistencies as well, the main error is actually from the Australian subtitles that appears to have affected a lot of the dubbing situations as well. And that's the line where Muffin says, I am a llama eating a banana? Banana.
I am a llama eating a banana!
Now, in Australia, the subtitles instead say blah, 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 basically. Even though it seems very obvious she's saying eating a banana. But apparently, it turns out on the internet that because of that, like, change, other countries as well, when they were dubbing it, just made, like, nonsense words as well for that section. Which is a really shame, because that's one of my favorite lines.
Did she say she's a llama?
The other inconsistency, of course, is the fact that, like, the healer front door all of a sudden has, like, a fly screen door on it, which it never does again. And obviously, that's just there for Muffin to make, like, some of her funny lines, like, you stop, door stop.
You stop, doors, door stop.
And then also, daddy stop.
Daddy, stop.
Overall, for this episode, I would give it a 5 out of 5 because I absolutely love Muffin so much. But I do really love the theme of this episode as well, and the fact that it's sort of about the idea that you have a duty of care to others when they are unable to take care of themselves.
Mom, you promised we could stay up late.
I know I did, but we have to do the right thing by Muffin. She skipped a sleep.
And obviously in this situation, it's presented as children, like with a toddler who hasn't slept, and as the older cousins, like you should take care of her because she's at your house for a sleepover with you. So you have that duty of care in general when someone's in your home. It was, however, pointed out by the Gotta Be Done podcast and a few other adult viewers and parents who watched it as well, that it does remind you a lot of like a drunk person, basically, and the fact that you have a duty of care to take care of someone when they are very, very drunk so that they don't get in more trouble, and you shouldn't really take advantage of that as well because it's just going to hurt them more. And I like that kind of like double parallel storyline because again, it's something for us as adults, but it's also for the little kids as well. And I think teaching kids that from a young age is really important, that we have a duty of care to others when they can't help themselves.
No hooray, Bluey. If your cousin has skipped a sleep, it's up to you to look after her. Muffin should have been in bed long ago. Look at her.
Sheila!
Now, aside from some of the lines that I already talked about that Muffin said, I do want to point out some of my absolute favorite ones as well, which is definitely like, I am boop boop bop boop.
Wake up, Sheila! My name is Boo Boo Bop Boo.
And the fact that she also says coconuts have water in them twice.
Coconuts have water in them. Coconuts have water in them.
I just think that's one of the funniest things. Like, it's like she's spilling a secret that no one else knows, and it just sort of makes for it with her like crazy screams and everything like that. But cheeky dogs, let me know in that comment section down below, how many long dogs would you give this episode out of 5? Like I said, for me, it is a 5 out of 5, but I would love to know what your thoughts and feelings were on this episode as well. While you're down there, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe button, and bell for notifications so you know whenever I release any other Bluey themed videos. But until my next video, I have picked you cheeky dogs out a few other videos that maybe you would like to watch, and I will see you all in another video. Mwah! Bye!